What's up, guys? Today we're checking out 7 used cars under 10K that just don't quit. Stick around till the end, you won't believe which one made the list. Smash like and drop your guess below. Number 7, Toyota Camry 2013. This 2013 Camry is the kind of car you buy so you can sleep better at night. Wildly reliable and low drama. It comes with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine that's proven it can hit 300,000 miles without major expenses. And if you find one with the V6, it's even more immortal, though thirstier. What's interesting is, despite all that tank-like reputation, the average price in the US for a 2013 Camry is around US $10,847. That shifts a lot depending on trim. LE, SE, XLE, V6, or hybrid. How many miles are on it, how well it was cared for, and where you buy. A basic LE will go for less, a well-kept XLE V6 will hover higher. And the cool part, it doesn't scream cheap car. It gives off that "I made a smart buy" vibe, until someone asks what you paid. Then you drop the number and watch their jaw hit the floor. Not everything is perfect, though. Styling isn't going to win any flash awards, and cabin noise is average at best. Still, if you want something that'll get you from point A to point B to point Z, maybe even further, without calling for help every few months, this 2013 Camry is a safe bet. Number 6, Toyota Corolla 2014. The 2014 Corolla is pretty much the definition of a no-drama car. This model kicked off a more modern generation, but kept the same old reputation of being bulletproof. It comes with a 1.8-liter four-cylinder that's insanely reliable, easily pushing 250K miles if you just remember to change the oil. It's the kind of car that feels bored by how tough it is, like it's saying, "Really? You're still trying to break me?" In the US market, the average price runs between US $8,600 and US $11,000, depending on trim, mileage, and condition. Basic trims like the LE or SE sit closer to $9,000, while eco versions or fully loaded ones can go past $11K. So for less than 10 grand, you're basically getting a car that can outlast some luxury SUVs costing 5 times more. Of course, it's not perfect. Cabin noise is so light you'll hear the wind thinking about passing by, and performance is slower than a minivan packed for a beach trip. But that's not the Corolla's mission. It was never about being sporty, it's about peace of mind. You turn it on, drive, and don't worry. The truth is, the 2014 Corolla has that invisible factor few cars offer: trust. You can buy one with 100K miles and still feel like it'll go another decade without drama. And here's a fun fact, there are so many Corollas on the road that if you pull into almost any shop, the mechanic probably knows what to do before even opening the hood. If you're hunting for a used car under 10K that'll last longer than some marriages, the 2014 Corolla is a no-brainer. Number 5, Honda Fit 2015. The 2015 Honda Fit is that car that looks tiny on the outside but swallows more stuff than a YouTuber's closet. Honda's engineering here feels like magic. The Magic Seat system lets you fold, flip, and rearrange the seats in ways that basically turn the Fit into a mini cargo van. Anyone who's hauled a bike, surfboard, or even furniture inside one knows it's way roomier than it looks. Under the hood, the 2015 Honda Fit packs a 1.5-liter four-cylinder with either a 6-speed manual or a CVT depending on the trim. Performance won't glue you to the seat, but fuel economy is killer. Highway numbers can hit around 40 mpg, basically hybrid territory. And like any well-built Honda, reliability is top-notch. With simple maintenance, these can push well past 200,000 miles. In the US market, average prices for a 2015 Honda Fit fall between US $9,000 and US $11,000, depending on mileage and trim. Higher trims may creep a bit above that, but they're still wallet-friendly. Now, let's be real, it's not the most manly car on this list. You're not impressing anyone at the club by saying you drive a Fit. But in real life, it delivers so much space, economy, and dependability that it becomes one of the smartest buys. The Fit is like that reliable friend who always shows up when you need a ride or help moving. Not flashy, but always clutch. Bottom line, if you want a cheap, reliable car with easy maintenance and the space to haul half your living room, the 2015 Honda Fit is practically unbeatable under $10K. Number 4. Honda Civic 2013. If the Corolla is the king of reliability, the Civic is the prince everyone wants to be. The 2013 model closed out a very solid generation in the lineup. It's powered by the 1.8-liter four-cylinder, well known for being smooth and long-lasting. You can find one with 120K miles and still buy it confidently, knowing it's got plenty of life left. Transmissions came as either a 5-speed automatic or a manual, and even the automatics hold up great. No sketchy CVTs here. Fuel economy averages about 28 mpg city and 36 mpg highway. Still strong numbers today. On the money side, the average U.S. market price for a 2013 Civic is US $9,518. Of course, this depends on trim and mileage. Basic versions like the LX and EX sit close to that number, while the SI, with its 201 HP 2.4-liter, can easily top $12K since enthusiasts chase them hard. The Civic also has one thing the Corolla can't match: style. Even as a used car, it carries a cool factor. That's why you see so many Civics rolling around with aftermarket wheels, loud exhausts, and questionable stickers. It's the perfect starter car for anyone stepping into the car scene. Cheap to buy, cheap to mod, and hard to kill. Downsides? Interior space isn't as generous as the Fit, and cabin noise is average at best. But in reality, the 2013 Civic is that marketplace listing under $10K that disappears within hours.
Number 3. Mazda Mazda3 2015. The 2015 Mazda 3 is one of those rare cars that manages to be good-looking, fun, and reliable all at once. You don't often find a used car in this price range that can still put a smile on your face on the highway. It came with either a 2.0-liter or 2.5-liter engine, manual or automatic transmission, and sedan or hatchback body styles. Mazda's sharp suspension tuning makes it one of the most enjoyable compact cars to drive, like it was built for enthusiasts who still need a normal people car. In the U.S. market, average prices for a 2015 Mazda 3 hover around US $9,800 to US $10,500 for simpler trims like the i-Touring sedan. Hatchbacks or higher trims can easily climb over $11K. Still, if you dig around, you can snag decent ones under $10K, especially with higher mileage. One of its strongest points is the interior, miles ahead of rivals like the Civic or Corolla of the same era. It looks modern, feels more upscale, and the driving position makes even a cheap car feel premium. Plus, fuel economy is great. The 2.0-liter versions can nearly hit 40 mpg on the highway if you're easy on the gas. Of course, it's not flawless. The back seat is on the tighter side, especially in the hatch, and cabin noise gets noticeable on the highway. At higher speeds, it's like listening to a podcast hosted by the wind. Maintenance can also cost a bit more than Toyota or Honda, since Mazda parts aren't quite as cheap or common. But overall, the 2015 Mazda 3 gives you way more than you pay for. Under $10K, you're getting a stylish, reliable, and fun-to-drive car while laughing at your buddy who spent the same money on a bland, rental-looking sedan. Number 2. Toyota RAV4 2010. The 2010 Toyota RAV4 proves exactly why Toyota is basically a religion when it comes to durability. This SUV doesn't mess around. Simple design, basic interior, but it delivers what matters most: insane reliability, loads in space, and engines that just won't quit. This generation came with two engines: the 2.5-liter four-cylinder, the workhorse, reasonably efficient, cheap to maintain, and able to rack up hundreds of thousands of miles with nothing more than oil changes. But the real star? The 3.5-liter V6, a beast hiding under the hood of a family superhero SUV. That engine turned the RAV4 into a sleeper rocket. Owners swore it could hit 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, which for a family crossover back then was wild. Imagine dusting an old Mustang at a stoplight in your grocery getter. That was the V6 RAV4. Now the sweet part, the price. Today, the average U.S. market value for a 2010 RAV4 is just US $6,413. That's crazy cheap, considering these SUVs can easily reach 250K miles or more. While many same-era sedans are pushing close to $10,000, here you're getting a Toyota SUV for nearly half that. Bargain doesn't even cover it. Sure, it's not perfect. The interior looks like it was designed during a weekend crash course in 2005, hard plastics everywhere, simple dash, and highway cabin noise that makes it sound like the wind is hosting a talk show inside. Seats aren't the comfiest for long road trips either, but let's be honest, nobody buys a 2010 RAV4 for luxury. They buy it because it just won't die. It also still has that old-school SUV vibe, a massive trunk, rear seats that actually fold flat, and AWD versions that handle snow and dirt roads with ease. Not a hardcore off-roader like a 4Runner, but way tougher than today's screen-filled mall crawler SUVs. And here's the kicker. Even though it's cheap, the 2010 RAV4 still makes you look responsible and solid. Park it in front of your neighbor's house and it looks like you spent way more than you did. While he's dropping $600 a month on a new SUV loaded with fragile sensors, yours is paid off and still going strong. Bottom line, the 2010 RAV4 is one of the last old-school SUVs combining Toyota reliability, family practicality, and a shockingly low price tag. It's not the prettiest or flashiest, but it's a tank disguised as a grocery getter. Number 1. Buick Verano, 2013. Closing out the list, we've got a car most people overlook, the 2013 Buick Verano. This compact near-luxury sedan was never a hit for younger buyers, which is exactly why it depreciated fast and now shows up as one of the smartest buys out there. The Verano came with two engine choices, a naturally aspired 2.4-liter four-cylinder with about 180 HP, reliable, efficient, and perfect for daily use, and the 2.0-liter turbo with over 250 HP, which turns this mild-looking sedan into a surprisingly fun drive. The 6-speed automatic is solid and not known for major issues. Now for the sweet spot, price. The current U.S. market average for the 2013 Verano is U.S. $7,124. That means for just over $7,000, you can get a car that, when new, competed with entry-level luxury sedans. In other words, you're paying Corolla money for something that feels way more upscale. Inside, the Verano impresses. Comfortable seats, decent trim quality, solid sound insulation, and features that back in 2013 were downright premium. Good audio system, digital climate control, and safety tech that only filtered down to cheaper cars years later. Of course, it's not perfect. Rear legroom is tight, and wind noise can show up at highway speeds. But in the end, the Buick Verano is the ultimate forgotten gem. Because it lacks the badge power of a Civic or Corolla, it costs way less. Yet in real life, it delivers comfort, reliability, and a touch of class that makes you look like you spent way more.